Okay, so this is the intersection of a circle and a line. So first thing we have is that a tangent is a line that only intersects a circle at one point. So if you're think about what that means, if you have a circle on a graph, a line that only intersects it at one point, so there's one point on the circle, so the line can only intersect it at one, so the line would have, so a tangent to that point would have to be something like that. Alright, it couldn't be a line like that, for example, because then it would go through and it would intersect it at another point as well, so it has to kind of just hit off the side of a circle at one point. That's what a tangent is, and that's what a tangent looks like. So that there would be another tangent. So I haven't done that very well, but that's the idea of what tangent is. Then obviously you could have a line that intersects circle at 2 points. So I mean, for example, that line and that circle, they intersect at that point there and at that point there. So either a line is going to intersect a circle at 2 points, or it'll intersect a circle at 1 point. If it's at 1 point, it'll be a tangent, so it's called a tangent. So the point of intersection of a line and a circle can be found by using simultaneous equations. So try and remember that intersection always means, in coordinate geometry, you'll always be using simultaneous equations. So to get points of intersection, you always use simultaneous equations. And simultaneous equations are something you should have seen before in algebra. So show that the line 3x plus y plus 10 equals 0 is a tangent to the circle x squared plus y squared equals 10, and find the point of contact. So really all we're going to do anyway is simultaneous equations. So 3x plus y plus 10 equals 0, x squared plus y squared equals 10. So because one of these equations is non-linear, obviously this equation isn't linear because it's a circle. By linear I mean straight line. So the linear one here, the one that's a straight line, is the top one, the 3x plus y plus 10 equals 0. So my first step here is to, and you can look back at simultaneous equations, non-linear ones, if you want a list of all the steps, but what you're going to do here is you're going to rearrange this equation. So I'm going to do it in kind of rough work here first. So 3x plus y plus 10 equals 0. So I'm going to do things to both sides of this equation to get y by itself. You could get x by itself either, but I'm just going to get y by itself because it's easier here. So I'm going to get y equals, then if I bring the 3x across, it becomes a minus 3x, or subtract 3x from both sides, and if I subtract 10 from both sides, I get minus 10, or I'm moving the 10 over, whatever way you've learned before. So y equals minus 3x minus 10 here. So because that's what y is, I'm going to sub that in. I'm going to sub this thing in here, the minus 3x minus 10, in for my y, and then I have an equation with just x's in it. So I'm going to get x squared plus minus 3x minus 10 squared equals 10. And now I just need to go off and I need to solve this. So this is going to get a little bit complicated, and I'm probably going to possibly get a quadratic, which I need to solve later. But so x squared plus, and I'm going to write out this twice then because it's minus 3x minus 10 squared, so it's times itself. So minus 3x minus 10 minus 3x minus 10 equals 10. Now you need to understand how to expand double brackets for this part. So I'm expanding double brackets here, so look, you need to revise that if you're not sure how to do it. But so I'm going to do minus 3x multiplied by I'll keep my x squared here anyway. Minus 3x multiplied by minus 3x is positive 9x squared. Minus 3x multiplied by minus 10 will be plus 30x Then I need to do minus 10 multiplied by minus 3x, so that's plus 30x, and then I need to do minus 10 multiplied by minus 10, so that's plus 100, and that's that equals 10. Now I can group together the like terms, so it actually works out nicely in this because they're all beside each other anyway. So x squared plus 9 squared is 10 squared. Sorry, x squared plus 9x squared is 10x squared. 30x plus 30x is 60x. And then my 100, I can move the 10 across the equal sign or subtract 10 from both sides, and I'll get plus 90. And that equals 0. So you can see that you're going to get a quadratic equation here. So I can actually divide both sides by 10 here, and it'll make things a lot easier. So if I just divide by 10 on the left hand side, I'm going to get x plus 9 equals 0. So then I can just factorize it, and this part here, then I'm factorizing a quadratic. So if you're not sure how to factorize a quadratic, you need to go back and revise. So x plus 3 x plus 3 is 0. So two numbers that multiply to give 9 are 3 and 3, and they also add to give 6. So two numbers that multiply to give that number and sum to give that number. So x plus 3 equals 0, or x plus 3 equals 0, so x equals minus 3, x equals minus 3. So we get the same answer. So x has to be minus 3. So therefore x equals minus 3, and because yeah, so I've worked out my x coordinate. X is minus 3. Therefore, what you need to do back and do is you need to go back and you need to sub in to find out your y coordinate. So I found back up here in my box that y equals minus 3x minus 10. So you can go back and you can use either equation and just sub back in. So you could take this equation here if you want, or you could use this equation if you want, or what you could do is you could just use the one that's in the box there, the y equals minus 3x minus 10. I'll just take the top equation there, so I'm just rewriting out now 3x plus y plus 10 equals 0. And then because down here I found out that x equals minus 3, I'm going to put in a minus 3 instead of the x, so 3 multiplied by minus 3 plus y plus 10 equals 0. So 3 multiplied by minus 3 minus 9 plus y plus 10 equals 0. I'm going to add 9 and I'm going to subtract 10 to move them over to the other side. So y equals minus 10 plus 9. So y equals minus 1. So I've worked out that y equals minus 1. So my point then is minus 3 minus 1. So therefore, if we go back to what the question asked us back at the very start, show that the line is a tangent to the circle x squared plus y squared equals 10, and find the point of contact. So because there's only one solution, because I've found just one point down here, that shows that it's a tangent, and that obviously then is the point of contact. So that is where the line will hit the circle. So this is I'm going to do this example in a second. If you want to pause the video now and just have a go at it yourself, it's pretty much the same concept as the first one. It's just we might get different answers, or we could possibly get 2 points in the end. But your first thing that you'll do, so it's x minus 2y equals 0, x squared plus y squared equals 20. So the first thing you will do is you'll take the top equation here and you'll write x in terms of y or y in terms of x. So x minus 2y equals 0. So I can just write x, I can just move the minus 2y across the equal sign, so I get x equals 2y. So x equals 2y, so you can just put in a 2y in instead of the x then. So you're putting a 2y there in instead of the x, so you'll get 4x all to be squared plus y squared equals 20 and so on. So you can try finish that yourself if you want. If you want to just pause the video and then I'll go through it in a minute. So like we were saying anyway, x equals 2y, therefore I can put a 2y squared in there plus y squared equals 20. So 2y squared would be 4y squared because we have to square everything in there, plus y squared equals 20. So 4y squared plus y squared is 5y squared equals 20. Then I can divide by 5, divide by 5, so y squared equals 4. Now we're actually going to get two answers here then for y, because y could be positive or minus 4. So because remember that minus 4 multiplied by itself, minus 4 multiplied by minus 4, oh sorry, my two answers are going to be 2, minus 2 and 2. So remember that minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 equals 4, and also 2 multiplied by itself equals 4. So there's two possible ways that you can multiply a number by itself to get positive 4. Therefore y equals minus 4 or y equals positive 4. So I'm going to sub both of those back in then into the equation. So for y equals minus 4, so I'm going to sub them into this, x minus 2y equals 0. So for x equals minus 4, or sorry, y equals minus 4, I'm going to get x minus 2 times minus 4 equals 0. So x minus 2 times minus 4 will be plus 8, so x plus 8 equals 0. So then move the 8 across or subtract 8 from both sides, so x equals minus 8. The second one, for y equals 4, I'm going to get x minus 2 times 4 equals 0. So x minus 8 equals 0. So x equals 8. So this point will be, this point is where x is minus 8 and y is minus 4. So my point there is minus 8 minus 4. And then this point here is where x is 8 and y is 4, so they're both positive. So it's the point 8, 4. So those are the 2 points then that intersect the circle and the line. So that was the question. So to find the points of intersection of the line and this circle.